Okay, today we're going to look at how to load our printers properly. So let's say I'm working on, this is a Clover credit card machine. Not every store has this particular version, but um, but some do. Let's say I was going to print something here, but I don't know if I can. Here. Okay, let's say you're going to print off a receipt for a customer and you see the red line. Okay, the red line means the paper is about out. You will get that on any of the credit card machines or our regular receipt printer. You do not get that on our label printer. Label printer you can see in here clearly, so you know when you're out. But these two will give you this warning red. When you see red, guys, that means it's time to change it. So don't just ignore it. Go ahead and change it. If there's paper left on the roll, that's fine. Throw it away. The paper's free. We would rather have a clean roll and not run into a situation where we get busy and have a receipt not print all the way and have to reload and reprint, and it's a lot of work. Okay, so when you see the red, that means it's time to pull it and put a new roll in. Okay, on this Clover, I'll show you this one first. Let's tear this off. Okay, to open the Clover, we're going to turn it around. And on the back, there's a little door. Okay, we're just going to pull this open. And the roll just sits in there. Okay, this one's really easy. But what you want to pay attention to is how it's sitting in there. There is a little graphic in here that shows which way the roll sits. But if you just look at it here, the roll unrolls from the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this out and turn it around. It does not unroll from the outside. Does that make sense? Okay, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to grab a new roll, okay, that's already been opened here for me. Okay, and we want to drop it in that same way. So the paper is coming from the outside, or the inside, I'm sorry, not the outside, this way. This paper for any of our receipt printers or label printers is called thermal paper. There's no ink inside these printers. They're printed with heat, and the paper has this heat coating on it that reacts to the little temperature bar as it passes through. And so the most common question I get, besides how do I open this drawer and put a roll of paper in, is I put a new roll in and the receipts are printing out blank. I think we're out of ink. Okay, so what that means is you put the roll in backwards. Okay, so if the roll was the other way, let's see if I can get this out. Okay, if the roll is in this way and the paper is coming out this way, you're actually printing on the back of the paper. This would be the back. This is the front. Okay, and you can feel the difference, but if you just look at the roll, the front is facing out. So if you're going to print on the back, there's no thermal whatever coating on this side. And so when it passes through the heater, nothing happens. It warms it up, but no magic printing happens. So it'll just come out blank. This happens from time to time, especially when we're going too fast and you just pull it out and throw it in and aren't paying attention to what way you're putting it in. That's what happens. So when that does happen, if it ever does, it's simple. You just pop the door back open, grab the roll, turn it around, throw it back in. And it doesn't have a feeder or anything. I'm trying to do this one-handed, I'm sorry. But you want to just get it in there so it's sitting square. It doesn't have any loading arm or anything. It just drops in. And then you're just going to pull this shut and click. And that's it. And if that did happen and you just need to go in and reprint that receipt, you just go back to your home screen again and hit transactions. And then you can find your transaction you just did, and then you would reprint. Now this was from yesterday, so normally if it was a new transaction, you'd be able to just reprint. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I guess I can click receipts, and I can print the receipt again. And I think with that same day, you actually get a fast button. But either way, just follow through your steps. Okay, and then always on the Clover, hit done at the end. Okay, anytime you mess with anything, hit done. The transaction can get refunded if we don't hit that done button. And then this is our home screen here. And again, that works for 2 of the stores. The other stores would have to go in. There's another set of buttons, and I can do that on another video. So that's how we load that one. Okay, now for the receipt printer, same thing. You're going to get the red line on the receipt when it's running out. And we just push a little button. It's going to yell at you. Open it up. This has a full roll in it already. But you would grab a new roll. When you're unwinding a new roll, guys, this will have a little glue on it right here. Okay, that keeps it closed when it comes from the factory. We want to make sure we get rid of all of that glue because it will gum up our receipt printers and our label printers. And so what we want to do is just pop it open, take off like the first foot, 2 feet, tear it off, throw it away. Okay, we don't want any of that new gummy paper going through this part of the printer. So just tear off a couple feet, throw it in the garbage. It doesn't have to be cut with a scissors. It can just be rough cut. Okay, now same thing when we drop our receipt paper in here, it does show you a picture on here of how it's going to go, but that picture is like from a different angle, and it's a little hard to, it actually depends what side you're actually looking on the receipt printer, if that little picture helps you or not, or hurts you. So I actually wish they wouldn't even put that on there, but same thing, we're going to drop it, and we want the paper coming out on top. So I'm going to close it down. Actually, I think I just did that backwards. I did. I'll edit. Okay, so I did put that roll in backwards, and I'm going to leave it for just a second to show you what it looks like. So let's say I have a roll in backwards, and I hit print. This is what it's going to look like. So it's going to sound right. It's going to kick everything out right, but there's nothing on it. And that's what I meant by a blank receipt. So if you do have this, then we're going to open the drawer, and we just need to turn the roll around. And that's what I meant about that icon. It's the little label or instructions are right if you look at it from one side versus the other. Okay, so it's in. We're going to close it and make sure it clicks down, closed, and now we should be able to print normal. And there it goes. Okay, so if you ever end up with a blank receipt, that's all you did wrong. Just pop it out, turn it around.